Hi, everybody. Welcome to Queers and Soaps. My name is Derek, and today I'm joined by Karen.
Hello.
And we're back once again to discuss what's happening on General Hospital. We're going to be discussing episodes that air from July 14th to July 18th, 2025. Time to roll the credits, and we'll get right into it. What a fantastic week! It's really, really good.
It
Wow.
was very exciting. I really enjoyed it. Except for that little lull where we had to spend like 3 days saying goodbye to Sasha. It just
Yeah, it wasn't long. Yeah, they dragged it out. But it was good to see Robert.
yes, yes. I love seeing Robert. I hear that Tristan's having health issues, so that's
Yeah, very sad.
yeah. I don't like that. I think he should get better immediately because I love him.
Yeah. Speedy recovery to Tristan Rogers for sure. All right, we'll start off with Natalia's memorial service. So Lucy arrives at the church to support Sidwell, but she does defend Sonny to him. But Sonny cannot eliminate the fact that he might have been involved in Natalia's death. So,
Yeah, everyone keeps saying the same thing. They keep saying, "I know Sonny, and Sonny would never do that."
mm-hmm.
Well, I know Sonny too, and I think he would have.
We've known him for years. We know.
He's done some really heinous things over the years with like very kind of
Mhm.
sketchy morals to cover it up. So even though he didn't do this, because it isn't his MO to murder women,
Yeah.
except to threaten Ava to murder her every 3 minutes, but like he doesn't normally go after women. Usually he just verbally and mentally abuses them and lets someone else kill
Mhm.
them.
Yeah. So meanwhile, Alexis is visiting with Marco, and she tries to convince him that Sonny had nothing to do with Natalia's death because he
Because
knew.
I know Sonny, and he wouldn't do that.
It
I mean,
seems
he shot his own son in the point blank. He did murder AJ Quartermain, but he would not do this.
he wouldn't do this. No,
This
not at all.
particular thing he would not do.
Yeah. So Lucas is sending Marco many texts, and he isn't answering. Marco didn't. Marco speaks to Alexis, but he's ultimately prepared for Natalia's memorial service. So now we're at GH, and there's a lot of tension between Lucas and Willow that Isaiah is picking up on, and he resolves for them to resolve their personal issues and focus on working together amicably.
Actually, he
So
should just mind his own damn business.
he's always a busybody now.
He is. He's nosier than Amy. Like, he is in everybody's business.
He is. Mm-hmm.
And honestly, Lucas has ample reasons not to talk to that psychopath, so it's fine.
Yeah,
Fine by me. He just gives orders. She does orders. Like, that is her job.
right.
And
I'm
he didn't have to be super friendly. He
yeah.
didn't say, "Screw you, Willow, get me the drugs." He called
No,
her by her full name and asked her to do her job.
right.
He wasn't warm about it, but he wasn't unprofessional. So
No, I
mind your
agree.
business. Mind your business, Isaiah.
So Willow goes off on a tirade about Michael, and Isaiah is kind of taken aback by this because he's never heard her talk like this. Willow insists that Michael drove her to all of this, and then she flashes back to when she moved Daisy from her crib.
Michael did everything. I never cheated on him. I wasn't already hooking up with Drew when he cheated on me. None of this is my fault.
Nope, not at
And
all.
they are my children, and he should give them to me.
So we're at Carly's house. Michael gives Sonny and Carly updates on Sasha deciding to leave town with Daisy. Sonny and Carly hear about what happened, and he agrees that he's worried about someone could get to his granddaughter. So Sonny offers him protection around the clock, but Michael decides that Sasha leaving is the right choice for her and Daisy.
It
Which,
doesn't matter. It's what she wants to do anyway, and he has no say.
yeah. So as soon as Daisy gets all her shots and everything, Michael explains that Jason's going to escort Sasha out of the country. So we're with Anna now. Anna is having a very chaotic morning. Outback has chewed her designer shoe, which if it's vintage, it's irreplaceable. And Emma is trying to do damage control, and Jude's kind of being a little annoying and eating her food.
Yeah, Gio ate all her food. Like, this is the typical "my roommates are terrible" plot, but it's like her granddaughter and her granddaughter's buddy, and they ate all her food. That her
Mhm.
shoes are chewed up by their dog, and they're both just like, "Oops, sorry, we gotta go," and they abandoned her.
Right. Was Felicia there before that, or was she there during it?
I think she was after.
It was after. Okay, so Felicia comes in, and Anna talks to her about her concerns about Vaughn, and she doesn't
That is
think,
annoying.
well, that his background isn't clean, but yeah, he is
Oh,
so annoying. So we're in Brennan's office now. Vaughn and Jocelyn are meeting with him, and they are meeting about Anna's suspicions about Vaughn. Brennan knew Anna would be digging around, and he knows she's going to put together the possible. Brennan instructs the most convincing couple that Port Charles has ever seen. Yawn.
yawn. Yawn. Triple yawn. I don't know. Bad.
hmm
Don't like it. Not a fan.
There was also some talk about a messenger who was delivering info to Professor Dalton to his from Professor Dalton to his employer.
Yeah, she's a courier.
Right, exactly. So Brennan said if they find out who this messenger is, they are in.
Yeah, because they figured from when they cloned the phone that
Mhm.
they're not making the deliveries through the phone. They're not talking through the phone. The phone's clean.
Right,
So the next logical step is that they have a courier somewhere and they need to find that courier and figure out where they're going and who they're meeting with.
right.
Pretty basic spy ops stuff.
All right, so we're at Lulu's house, and Jason is meeting with her, and she warns Jason that he could never allow Rocco to talk about Westbourne ever again.
I
Jason,
love Jason in this scene because
I
he's
do
just like,
too.
sure. You know what I mean? He was like, I'm sorry I spoke to Rocco without coming to you first and making sure it was okay.
Yeah.
But he came to me and I answered his questions. And Lulu's like, you made her look like a good person and she's not. And he goes, she's not a terrible person.
Right. He said there's two different versions of Britt, the one that he knew and the one that she knew.
Right.
And he says that Jason is willing to respect Lulu's wishes, but he will not speak to Rocco about Britt. So then Jason leaves, and Alexis arrives, and she wants Lulu's help in finding out who wrote the hit piece on Sunny. So quickly gets on board.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think that I like Jason in this scene a lot with Lulu, but I'm wondering if he still feels that way about Franco.
Oh, no, because like I think towards the end, even he was kind of dealing with Franco.
Yeah, I think he called it like
better.
he had changed towards the end, but yeah.
Yeah, but it's different. I think it's different when you experience the good version of them and you didn't really experience the bad version of them. Like
Mm-hmm.
for Lulu, Britt was this horrific thing that happened to her life. And you know,
Mm-hmm.
Lulu, she can't see outside her own sphere of influence. We're having a really hard time with that.
Yeah,
And she can't see that Britt was going through something and stealing the embryo was something she was doing out of desperation. She just saw her as, rightly so, stealing from her and trying to steal a baby and all that. But she didn't see what Britt was trying to do
right.
for herself. And like what Britt did was reprehensible, let's face it. But it's a soap, and I get it, and I love her.
Right. So this scene makes me think that Rocco is going to be infatuated with Britt when she comes back, and so we have Danny gushing over Daisy, and then Rocco comes up, and and Sasha tells him about the baby can recognize her mom's voice in the womb, and so he's probably thinking about Britt at this moment, and if she talked to him in the room, and like because he's her birth mother, but I
Oh
don't know.
God,
Like,
I think I zoned out because I like the baby stuff is so annoying for me.
right.
I think I'm like all the parents on the show in the '80s that babies are boring and they should go to boarding school
And then grow up magically and come
until
back.
they're innocent and then they come back.
Yeah.
No, I mean it's a cute baby. It's just there's not much to do other than coo at it and hold the baby and say the baby's cute. That's really all you do with a baby.
Right. So then Michael and Sasha bring Daisy to the hospital, and Lola's glaring at them. Back at the pool with Dalton. Dalton is really upset about the poor service he's receiving from Danny and Rocco, and who are taking a really long time to get him towels. Dalton needs to chill out, in my opinion. Dalton finds Outback on his chair, and he lashed out again. And I thought he was going to recognize Outback, so I was a little wonder why he didn't. I had a feeling about
I mean,
Alec
do you
being
think
one of
he
his best
knows
animals.
the individual beagles he has in his possession? Like he just sees them as
Hmm.
experimental animals. He probably just didn't make that connection because they're going to look the same. It's not going to be like a big difference unless like Outback had a very special marking on him. Most people aren't going to know the difference between one beagle and another.
Hmm. Well, and then Dalton even suggests that Rocco and Danny lose their jobs, and then Emma rushes to their defense since Outback
Yeah,
hits
he's
her
in a
dog.
mood. He is in a
He's in a
mood. Not
mood.
normally that aggressive.
No, he's not. So Emma offers to make things up for Professor Dalton and take some things off his plate. Since she hasn't scored the research assistant gig, she's happy to help him though.
She would
Dalton,
like to be the assistant to the assistant.
right? So Dalton takes Emma up on her offer, and Emma tells Gio, Rocco, and Danny about his history of animal testing and that she plans to take him down. So then we see Professor Dalton heading to the church and talking with Sidwell, who tells him that their mutual friend is growing impatient, but
Wait, he leaves the pool at that point? I thought he was at the pool for the courier, or does he come back?
that's later. That's later.
Okay. This show is weird with time.
Yeah, and then he says he's sending the courier soon to get some answers about what is taking so long. So now, if you don't have them, there's going to be hell to pay. Sidwell warns him. So that the scene you're talking about, I think, is like later in the week when the courier's there.
Oh God, it's just so many scenes at the Metro pool, and they all kind of blend together.
It's the setting of the summer. So then we have Lucas, who still can't get in touch with Marco. He gets Carly to let him into Marco's hotel suite. There's no sign of him. So Lucas is growing very upset and fearful that something's wrong.
Yeah, I would say he was frantic.
Yeah,
because he knows where this is going. He's lived in this town a long time.
right. So Marco's being held captive in a room, and it's clear that Sonny has abducted him. And I didn't like the fact that Jason was the one who, was the one who actually abducted him. I wish Jason.
I've been a little aggravated about this turn for Jason for a while. I'm wearing a Quartermain shirt. You can't really see it, but hello. And I feel like this turn for Jason, like for a while he was being focused on family and he wasn't really doing anything, and then he turned on Sonny. I think Tracy even comments on it. It just seems like one day he just switched back into right-hand man for the mob, and it doesn't really make sense because he was the one that told Sonny he didn't want to take over for him because he couldn't because of Danny, and that he didn't really want to deal with any of this anymore. And then all of a sudden he's back to, I don't know, regular Jason, if we want to call it. And I don't like it.
Yeah. Yeah, I had issues with that. I wish Jason had decided not to go through with it and tell
I'm
Sonny.
really surprised that Jason didn't tell Sonny that this was a terrible idea.
He did initially, but then he, was like, well, I guess I do whatever you say, as usual.
I just do what Sonny tells me to do, even though Sonny is showing signs of being a crazy person again. This is a dumb plan, because once they put a hit out on Marco, or once they start messing with Marco, Sonny has a lot of children and a lot of extended family that are all free for all.
Yeah. So then we have Sidwell back at the church for Natalia's memorial service, and then Sonny shows up and says that Marco is not coming. And I guess Blaze doesn't either, because we did not see her.
She doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Neither does the other brother. This whole family's been wiped off the map. Marco is the last man standing. Good luck, Marco.
Okay, so then we're back at GH. Willow confronts Michael, and who reveals that the visitation hearing is going to be pushed back till October now.
Oh, she was awful. She got in his face and was telling him how awful he was for keeping her away from her children and what all this crap. And he was like, "You broke the court order immediately. You didn't even wait."
Exactly. It's her fault. She's the one who decided to see Wiley at the pool.
And he's like, yeah, and he goes, "And you upset Wiley. Amelia's fine. She doesn't remember anything. But you upset Wiley because you saw him when you weren't supposed to, and that got him riled up and confused because he doesn't understand what's happening. So that's why I went to the judge, and I told the judge exactly what you did, and now the hearing's been pushed back several months." And then she was like, "You're a monster. Oh, my children. Mine. Only my children. I birthed them with no help from anyone else."
Yeah.
I'm so sick of her, to be honest.
Yeah. And she
I
also
think she's
lashes out
really.
at Sasha for not speaking up for her. I'm like, why would she defend you?
I delivered your baby in a courtroom. Like, your
Yeah,
lawyer her out so much that she had a baby in a courtroom.
right, exactly.
Context does not exist for Willow. Not even a little bit. Everything is like nothing she did has affected the outcome of anything.
Yeah, well, Willow overhears something about a trip overseas, and she immediately gets paranoid that Michael's taking the kids out of the country, but he snaps that he's not. So Daisy's appointment is over, and Michael shares a sweet moment with Sasha and says he's going to miss them both. So now we're at the Quartermain mansion. This was a fun scene. Tracy invites Nina over for tea, and has a proposition for her. Tracy wants Nina to use her media connections to sway the vote on Measure C and drive Sonny out of town. Nina acts like she would need some incentive to even consider this, and Tracy suggests that she could convince Michael to grant access to Willow to her kids.
Tracy's like, that's not how this works.
Right.
I'm in
Tracy
charge.
decides they're going to have to do this the hard way, and she's going to have to tell Willow about Nina and Drew sleeping together if Nina decides not to cooperate.
Oh, and Nina's like, you don't know. How do you don't have any proof. You don't have anything. And she's like, yeah, well, I got when Cody went nuts and talked about it at the bar on tape. So
Yeah, I got it on tape. Like, yeah.
But it was funny because she did appeal to Nina and she was like, let's do this the easy way. And then Nina's like, what do I get out of it? And she's like, oh, great. What do you get out of it? You get to be blackmailed now. Enjoy.
Yeah, I also love when Nina said to Tracy, you messed with the wrong bitch. Cynthia Watchers was so good.
She was. Jane Elliott is that bitch and no one will defeat her. So I love her so much.
So Nina sticks around to talk with Sasha, and she finds out that Sasha's leaving for Charles.
And then they have a cute moment about the baby.
That was so sweet. I love
I
that.
was so bored. I'm sorry. I don't care. It's like just I'd rather she had a more interesting exit.
Yeah, but it was nice because they had so much history. It was nice that they had a chance to say goodbye.
I think they have great history. I do like that Nina tried to do something for her, and Sasha's like, I don't need anything. And she's like, you have to let me do something.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I like their relationship. I don't know. This goodbye is like dragged out for me.
Right. And then Michael catches up with Tracy, who is stunned to learn that he is losing his daughter because Stacy is moving out of the country with Sasha. So Jason puts the guard in charge of watching Marco and warns him not to let him out. The guard goofs up because Marco tricks him into thinking he has diabetes and needs food. So Lucas has diabetes, or he did as a child, but I don't think. So I remember that when they.
Lucas had diabetes as a child, but you can grow out of it.
You can, yeah. So once the doors open, Marco.
You keep bringing it up. You're like, someone's forgotten about the diabetes, and like they have not. Lucas has mentioned it previously in this. Like, yes, he has in this run. When they did the weird scene with Stella where they were forcing the medical information, he did reference it. I have not forgotten that he was a child with diabetes. Like, I know it's kind of like, shoop, blink and you miss it, but
I'm
they did.
They didn't forget. That's awesome they didn't forget.
I know. You never know what they're going to remember and what they're not.
Yeah.
Quartermain birthmark, anyone? Are we forgetting about that entirely?
Right. So when the doors open, Marco smashes a chair on the guard and he tries to escape.
Good job.
So at the church, Sonny puts Sidwell through an interrogation, and Sonny suggested they should be asking how to get. Sorry, my notes are a little. There we go. Sonny suggests that he should be asking how to get his son home in one piece. Yeah, Sidwell argues that the pub fire was Selena Wu's fault, and Sonny says he does not buy that, and he thinks that the situation is his fault. Marco, he put Marco in this situation, and now he's going to have to pay the price. If Sidwell wants Marco out of trouble, Sonny tells him that he expects him to pull the funding for Measure C, stop all the political shenanigans, and shut down his media attack. So Lucas shows up at the church and finds Jason. So once Lucas shows up at the church and finds Jason, he pushes for Jason to let him go. Jason stonewalls Lucas and lashes out with him. And Diane Hansis was really good in these scenes. I really enjoyed them.
Yeah, the tension was really high and well done. You could see that Jason is, I know we always say like Jason's like Scooby or whatever, but like his face and his eyes show everything, like very delicate micro expressions. He did not like what was going on. He did not like having to confront Lucas about this.
Right.
I really don't think he's too on board with this plan. He just doesn't see another way out right now.
Right. So then Sonny comes out of the church, and Lucas tosses around some threats, but Sonny isn't bothered by them at all. He's just like, I'm sorry you're in this situation, Lucas, but I got to do it.
He's like, stay out of it, and Sidwell knows what he has to do to get his son back. Like, stay out of it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Lucas like, stay out of it. Like, that's the guy I'm dating. Like, come on. Mm-hmm. And they're just like, we don't care.
Lucas joins Sidwell inside, and Sidwell pushes for him to help him get through to Sonny. However, Lucas argues that he's already tried and insists that Sidwell's going to have to be the one to save Marco. So
I mean, he went to Carly, he went to Jason, he went to Sonny. Like, it's not like Lucas has been sitting home crying into his like wine glass. He's been all over town trying to get Marco back, and Sidwell could just back off of Sonny.
Yeah. So once Jason returned to the warehouse where Marco was being held, the guard was a little roughed up. Jason asked him what happened, and he said nothing he couldn't handle. So Marco is now bound and gagged in the back room, and he is trapped, and so his escape attempt obviously has failed. So Drew visits with Carly and asks her for her help. Then it becomes clear that a compromise is not going to happen because Carly basically tells him that, I'm not going to tell Michael what to do. Like, you need to, like, it's a no. So Drew.
She said to Drew, she's like, this is not my problem.
Yeah.
Like, Michael already told Willow exactly what she has to do to see the kids again, and that's get rid of you. So if she's not going to get rid of you, then she gets what she gets. I can't disagree with her.
No, I don't agree with. I don't disagree with her either. She's awesome in that scene. Loves her.
She is. She's amazing, and it's funny how you watch Drew go from being sympathetic and cajoling to aggressive and threatening. And the minute he turns threatening, Carly's like, "Oh, is this how we're going to play it? Like, go away, get out of my house, go away."
Drew warns her that now he's going to go into a full-on attack against Michael. He's going to regret not compromising with him and Willow.
And Carly gave him the middle finger.
Basically.
Wouldn't that be funny if she did? She just closes the door in his face and holds up her middle fingers at the little window. That would be so hilarious. Laura, right to it.
So then Drew joins Willow at the hospital, and she's in a panic because the visitation hearing is not going to happen until October. Drew hugs Willow and assures her that they're soon going to take the kids away from Michael for good and that he has a plan.
Yay.
Yay, great. And when we find out what your plan is, I got even more upset. So we're back at the Metrocare pool, which has become a character this summer. Jason gives Danny updates on what's happening with Daisy, and Danny learns he better say goodbye to Sasha and Daisy today if he ever wants. He's probably not going to see them for a really long time, or ever again if Sasha never comes back. But hopefully that's not the case.
Recast.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Stella confronts Curtis over the hit piece on Sonny's, but he can't say much about it other than it wasn't his idea. So Sasha gives Nina details on why she's leaving town with Daisy. Nina blames herself for adding the paternity and exposing Sonny's family, which we already talked about all that, really, but that's just one thing I wanted to mention.
She wanted to rehash it because she felt guilty about it, and also so the audience could hear it again. Yeah, this is not Nina's fault. This is, I don't know, this is just collateral damage from this whole Willow-Michael thing.
Right. So Danny comes home and he says goodbye to Daisy and Sasha, and then Nina ends up at Aurora and she offers to help Curtis with his media attacks against Sonny. Curtis suspects that something's up, and he asks her if this is Drew doing, and Nina hints that someone else is controlling her.
Because they should date.
Right. They should.
His relationship with Portia, they should date. Why not? They look cute together. They understand each other.
Mm-hmm.
They should date. Once this whole Portia thing. Once Portia gets free from Curtis and gets to date whoever she wants, Isaiah, then we could probably do something else.
Curtis says they need to find a way to stop Drew because he's the source of so many problems. Then Curtis flashes back to Nina spilling the beans about her hookup with Drew, and he says that sometimes it's necessary to betray a friend. So looks like Curtis is going to use what he knows about Nina and Drew. Stop him. We'll see.
Well, you know, Curtis's morals are flexible when it comes to himself only.
Right. All right, so we're back at the Quartermains. Michael.
Well, they're never going to date. Why are they ruining this for me?
Yeah, Michael considers leaving Port Charles with Sasha and Daisy and bring Wiley and Amelia with him, but Tracy says he cannot do that to Monica. So Tracy
She's like, I know you. You wouldn't do that. You would never do that to your mother, your grandmother. You're not going to do that.
Right. Tracy meets with Jason and pushes him down not to stand in the way of her efforts to drive Sonny out of town. So Jason's like, sure. Whatever.
I kind of adore the relationship that develops between Tracy and Jason. It's just kind of like we both know that Tracy's going to do whatever Tracy's going to do, and Jason's just like, I'll just stand to the side and not get involved in any of that. But you know,
yeah,
it's happening.
All right, so let's see. We'll talk about Kai now. Kai stops at Portia's office to apologize, but she cannot forgive him for the way that he took the spark away from Trina's eye that she finally got back after Spencer died.
He's like, good luck, Kai. Have a great time, you traitor. You ruined my daughter's life. Her last boyfriend died. She loved no one till you, and you betrayed her. How do you think that's going to impact her in her life? So suck it, Kai. Go to DC. Yeah. Go away.
And I don't blame her for her attitude towards Kai. I wouldn't be the same. I'd be like, no.
I would be worse. I actually think Portia was pretty nice considering what Kai did.
Considering what he did to Trina, for sure.
Yeah, especially after she lost Spencer, and this is the first guy she had a relationship with, and he kind of like, you know, made her happy again, even though it bored me. Like. Yeah, Portia was semi-decent to him in a way that he didn't really deserve after spilling their secrets to Drew. He never once asked, what did Drew do to you guys that would make you all want to, like, tar and feather him?
Right. Exactly. Okay, so Stella also talks to Kai about his breakup with Trina, and she understands his perspective, even though she wondered if sticking to his principles was really worth it.
I think she was trying to very gently parent him to understanding that it's not a black and white issue, and that maybe in the future he should consider more angles before sticking so hard to his principles, because look what it got him.
Right.
Stella's amazing.
I know. I love her. All right, so Drew assures Willow that they're going to give Michael a taste of his own medicine and make it look like he is a danger to his kids. So Drew goes to see Portia and mentions that Michael still comes to GH for his blood work following his burn treatment. So he blackmails Portia into making it look like Michael is an opioid addict, and she wants him to change his test results.
Can we talk about how similar this is to Carly drugging AJ, throwing him in an alley, and pouring vodka all over him to get custody of Michael?
Yeah, it is. It's very similar. Yes,
it's very much a history repeating itself. I was so furious when I heard that.
I bet you were. I was too. So Portia refuses to help Drew take Michael's children away from him, and he is confident that she is going to change her mind. Drew saunters out, and Portia has a complete meltdown in the office and smashes a picture frame.
So funny. I was watching that, and I was like, girl, you were at work. You know, you were a whole ass at work.
Well, let me tell you something. Brooke Kerr killed it in that scene.
Yeah, definitely.
So good.
I love Brooke Kerr. I think she's doing such a good job.
Me too. And there are times when she regresses back to the old Portia, especially with Jordan, but the moments like that are what I love about her.
You're never going to, I think she portrays a very human character. I think Brooke Kerr makes Portia likable, but flawed. And that's
right.
Really what you have in a character you like. And all of us backslide when we're put in different scenarios. So I think it's very realistic.
Yeah.
And yet I say about Lulu, I'm like, no, not at all. I will not.
Well, we got a little break from Lulu this week. We didn't see her too much, so I was
Yeah, but
happy.
when we did see her, she was not in the same storyline. I actually think they're pulling her from this Brooklyn nonsense and pushing her more towards the fight with Sunny and
Yeah,
well,
thank God. I need her to do something else.
because she's so talented. But I'm so sick of the two of them yelling at each other. Like, I like a good rivalry between two of the women characters, just same as
Mhm.
everybody else. But it needs to be grounded in something I care about, and I could care less about Geo. I don't
Mhm.
like this bratty new version of Geo. I do like him when he's with Emma. He's kind of funny, but when
Mhm.
he's with any member of the family, he's ridiculous.
Yeah. All right, so Willow talks to Isaiah about her wedding coming up, and she wishes that her kids could be there. Drew ultimately meets back up with Willow and confirms that the plan is in motion, which means Michael is going to pay for his refusal to compromise. So this was an interesting scene this week. So the trashy article came out about Nina's marriage to Sunny becoming a nightmare. So Sunny goes to see Nina and confronts her about this. Nina immediately admits that Tracy blackmailed her, and Sunny decides not to blame her for wanting to protect her relationship with Willow. So I think I was texting with Matt about this. I saw Mike in these scenes. A lot of Mike.
Me
Whenever he
too. He's
whenever he
softened.
interacts with Nina, I always see a little touch of Mike, and I like that.
Yeah, he goes from very aggressive, very angular in movements, very choppy, like masculine.
Hmm.
He just kind of softens. All his moves become gentler. His tone is softer.
Yes.
And like as soon as she's like, Tracy blackmailed me, this is not what I wanted to do, the anger just snuffed out. And
Yep.
he's like, listen, you got to do what you got to do to protect your family. I understand that.
Hmm.
And that's unusual for him. Usually it's everything is a betrayal and now he's going to light your world on fire. But for Nina, he's like, I get it.
Hmm.
I understand. And I think he's always going to have that soft spot for her.
Yeah.
Like Carly, he's never going to murder Carly. If Carly does something absolutely horrific to him, he's never going to do. He'll be mad at her, but he would never. So I think like Nina and Carly are like kind of safe from his madness, but no one else
Yeah.
is.
Right.
But I loved it. I thought it was really cute. Cynthia Watros
Oh
is so good. And I
my
think
God.
that the relationship between Nina and Sunny really does help Maurice like
Hmm.
come across as a softer, gentler version of Sunny that I like.
And that is something we need right now because he is not likable right now at all. So
Well, he's never likable to me.
well,
As
and
much
this
as I
scene,
like
I thought it
Maurice
was
Bernard, I love him, but
well, I love this scene.
come
I
on.
thought it was good, and I liked seeing the traces of Mike that we haven't seen in a while. So it was good.
I liked Mike. I
Yeah.
like him. I love that. I think I'm never not going to be a sucker for the amnesia storyline that shows you a completely different side of the character.
Right.
I love it. I almost wish that some more of Mike had been integrated into Sunny
Hmm.
uh, to make him sweeter. Because like early Sunny was, uh, never mind. I was going to say softer, but he really wasn't because I just remembered what he did to Karen. So
Yeah, he did.
that was like early days. So no,
Mm,
and I did like him with when he had scenes with Luke.
yeah,
But then I
we're
remembered
almost
that
there
he
in
tried to
93.
convince Sunny. Yeah, Sunny tried to convince Luke to cheat on Laura. So no for
Yeah.
that too.
Oh my goodness. We're almost there in 93. I can't wait to get there.
Pepperidge Farm remembers. That's that's me every time.
So we're with Lulu. Lulu's complaining about Dante about giving Brooklyn a second chance for what happened with Rocco. Dante feels that Brooklyn made a mistake, and she suggests that she is sorry for what she did, and she shouldn't. And he suggests that she shouldn't play the blame game now, but we can go back and forth about it. I'm sorry, not Dante. Lulu still feels that Dante should throw his anger toward Brooklyn if he wants a relationship with Gio.
Yeah, she
Lulu.
also said that now that he's really mad at Brooklyn, that she should step in.
Mhm.
Like he should step in and get that relationship. And he goes, "That's funny. That's the exact same thing Brooklyn told me to do."
Right. Yeah, he did. I love that.
And I kind of love that because Dante was like, "Yeah, okay, yeah." But Brooklyn suggested I do the same thing because she cares about my relationship with Gio, and you seem to only care about making Brooklyn suffer.
Which is true. And also, I like when Dante said that what did he say? He told Lulu that Brooklyn deserves some grace because she. What did he say? It was because there's something else. What was it? I don't remember. I lost it. But there was something else she said to him that I really liked.
I think he kind of went back on, quote me if I'm wrong, but I think he was kind of referencing how she evolved and how she was young when everything happened.
Right.
And, that none of them have been perfect in this scenario. Like, he was just really understanding in a way that I'm used to, not in the way he's been for the last couple months with his, like, little rage fits.
Right. Oh, I remember what he said. He said that Brooklyn's willing to sacrifice her relationship with Gio so Dante can have a relationship with Gio, and she deserves, some grace for that. So that's what I liked. And
Yep.
Lulu kind of like didn't have anything to say about that, and he finally shut her up.
What can you say to that? There's not much you can say to that without looking like an ass.
Yeah. So Lulu then meets with Sonny and pushes him to find a buyer for the piers. This will help Laura politically. And Sonny makes it clear that he will deal with things in his own ways, but he tries to reassure Lulu that things are going to work out okay.
He's like, no.
Yeah.
And she's like, but this will help. And he's like, none of this will help. Sidwell's a psychopath. This is not going to work out. And he's like, just trust me to handle it. And she's like, okay, I do. I trust you. I don't trust you. I think you're going to make things worse. But Lulu can trust you.
Right. So we had a few exciting returns this week. So this first one was Liesl Ulbrich is meeting with Rocco at the cafe. Rocco asks her questions about Britt, and Liesl is very honest about what happened, and she admits that Britt was a flawed woman, but she did love him. She praised the good in Britt, and that she lived her life, and she didn't care what anyone thought about her. So Liesl finds out that Jason kind of said the same thing about Britt, and she cracked a joke about him being wise despite his brain damage, which I love. Laughing.
Yeah, I did love that.
Yeah. And then Liesl wants to know more about Rocco's life now, but she didn't have much time longer to chat, but he suggested they chat again soon.
Well, I think she cut it short when she saw that he was starting to look uncomfortable. Yeah. And then he got that phone call, so she didn't want to push.
Right. Mm-hmm.
She was very sweet the entire time, smiling and very happy to see him. And I really like this because I love soft Liesl, like, because she can turn on a dime, and like seeing her be like, oh, you are so grown up. Look at you. You're amazing. And she really did like add to the lore that Britt didn't just carry this baby and try to pass it off, that she did love him.
Right.
In her own way. I love how they all add in her own way, because Britt is ridiculous, and that's why she's awesome.
Right. And then Liesl surprises Nina at Crimson, and they share
a
warm reunion. Ulbrich hasn't heard from me in a while, so she assumes that she has a mess to clean up, which she does. So Jason and Sasha are on a private jet out of Port Charles, and then let's see. They're chartering a flight for, I guess, on a commercial, something about a commercial.
They chartered a flight because they didn't want to be on a commercial airline because of the danger of doing it. So they were on like a private jet. And then while they were on the private jet, Sasha and Jason talk about how much Jason has helped Sasha throughout the whole pregnancy and how they're kind of close and friendly now. And he's like, normal Jason. He's like, yeah, of course I did that. I'm Jason. That's what I do. Right. And she's like, yeah, but don't you think that like all you ever do is help other people? Like, what do you have? And he's like, I got Danny and the family. And she's like, yeah, but don't you want someone for you? And he's kind of like, I'm happy. Like, I have the Quartermains, I have Sonny, I have all these things. And she's like, yeah, but how do you feel about Tracy? And they both talk about how Sasha's going to miss Tracy because Tracy has a secret soft side. And Jason's like, and she would hate you for even thinking that.
She would. I love that. That was really good.
It was very telling that these two people have a clear understanding of who Tracy Quartermain is. And you can actually see the genuine affection that Jason carries for the Quartermain family. And in particular, Tracy, knowing that they're always going to be kind of at odds. It's similar to how he used to feel about Alan.
Yes.
And I like that.
Mm-hmm. So the plane lands, and Jason takes Sasha and Jason to the house while he's saying it, and we open the door to Robert Scorpio.
Yay!
Lovely return of Tristan Rogers. That was kept under wraps. Very surprised to see him.
I knew she would go to her parents. I thought she would probably go to Robert. I did not think they would show it.
Right.
So I was really excited to see Tristan Rogers. I love him. He's wonderful. And he looked skinny, but he looked good. And I thought that was going to be it. And then when you go on, he gets a little more airtime, which is awesome.
Right. We didn't get an explanation of where Holly was, though. So I know she lives there because he said we.
Holly is not that girl's mother. I swear to you, because she has no relationship to this woman at all.
Yeah. All right. So we're at the pool, and the courier is named Greta, and she has.
They named her? I didn't even notice. I was like, blonde
Greta.
lady number 5 at the pool.
Her name was Greta. She has the bag, and she's lounging by the pool. It's obvious that something's about to go down, so Jocelyn texts Vaughn to get right over there.
Boo! Do it yourself. You don't need him. What is he? He's an anchor. He's an albatross around your neck, girl. You don't need him.
Yeah, I know. Jocelyn can do this by herself. She'll be fine.
She really doesn't need him. Does he need to show up to just be annoying and then leave? He's so annoying.
Right. So Dalton swims laps while Jocelyn checks her emails from him. Jocelyn tells Zany that the woman was a good tipper, so he gave Greta the attention and distracted her for a little bit. So right. Since Dalton has a meeting with the dean, he dashed off to change his clothes. Jocelyn bent down with a bag with a tracker in her hand, but she had to cover when Dalton returned. Greta finally gave Danny a huge tip to get rid of him and grabbed the bag after Dalton stepped away. So Dalton sneaks back around out of sight and to make sure that Greta has taken it. So as for Jocelyn, she texts Vaughn with the news that he was too late and urged him to intercept it at a secondary location.
Be better at your job, Vaughn.
Yeah, Vaughn sucks. Like, he didn't. What's wrong with you, Vaughn?
Hi, Raina.
So we're at the PCPD, and someone's giving updates to Felicia about Vaughn. I think it's Anna. I wrote she. I don't know who it was.
Anna.
I think it was Anna.
Because Anna's like, yo, this guy is squeaky clean. Mm-hmm. And it says he works in whatever they call janitorial services these days. And she goes, but he doesn't, does he? He's not right. There's something wrong with him. And Felicia's like, is this you being an overprotective grandmother?
Yes.
And Anna's like, no, this is me being a spy who has spy instincts. And she's like, I'm pretty sure it's you being an overprotective grandma. Maybe you should just leave it alone. And she's like, I can't. No way.
So Anna asked Dante for a favor that involves the WSB, so he seemed ready to tackle this new mission. So in Anna's office, she invites Carly over to talk about Jocelyn's relationship with Vaughn. So Carly suggests that it's just casual and there's nothing really to get too worked up about. And then Anna tells her about the blow up at the pool. Anna insists that Jocelyn is back with Vaughn and mentioned that Emma was trying to take Vaughn away from her. Carly made it clear that she doesn't control her daughter's love life and that she's free to talk to her whenever she wants about it, but, it's not really her business.
You know what the most important sentence Carly said in that entire conversation?
What's that?
She went to Easter Island on an unplanned trip.
Yes, that's...
As soon as she said that, Anna's like, that's WSB training. This girl's a spy. And she already had it figured out. I watched Finola Hughes' eyes light up. Like, that was some amazing work. I was like, she knows.
Cool that Anna figured it out. Like, Anna's finally, getting smart again. Like,
yeah, I know. Sometimes they dumb her down. They nerf her for, no reason. And I think, well, maybe it's not no reason. Maybe it's just she's too smart. Because she figured this out. She already was on to Vaughn. And it took only one sentence for her to catch Joss. And then she was like, okay, I get this. I've been through this. I know what this is. And she didn't have to say a word. I knew it as soon as she was like, oh, so the trip was unplanned. And I was like, she's got him. She knows.
Oh, yeah. And also she mentioned that Jocelyn was obsessed with bringing down Cyrus Renault after Dex died. And that was a surprise to Carly as well.
Yep.
So let's see. So we're at the airport now. Vaughn and Jocelyn are cozying up to each other as part of their scam.
Gross.
Uh, Vaughn winds up flirting with Greta, the courier, to distract her while Jocelyn puts a tracker again on her backpack. Greta boards the flight to Paris, and Jocelyn watches the tracking info with Vaughn as they wait to find what her final destination is going to be. When Dante reports back to Anna with his findings, he assumes Vaughn was indeed WSB and that a tracker had been planted. But Anna's already got this figured out.
Yeah, it's so funny because it's like they're like at the airport and they're cuddled up in the chairs, and then it's like pull back. Dante watching the security footage, pull back.
Mm-hmm.
Anna knows everybody's in the WSB, and I was like, cinematography for the win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Dante was like, why is Jocelyn there? You know, because he's going to be overprotective.
Right.
Always.
So I think Robert's in Paris with Holly because that's where I think Robert was. We're at Robert's place. Sasha goes to change Daisy's diaper, and Robert and Jason have a talk. I liked their scene where he was like, "Yeah, you helped my daughter years ago at Robin, and now you're helping my daughter now, and I really appreciate it." It was really.
I still hate you though. Just so you know.
I still don't like you, but I appreciate your.
Classic Robert.
Yes.
He's like, I appreciate you, but hey, if you commit crime, I'm gonna nail you to the wall. I just need you to know that you still suck. I just appreciate what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. All right, so Jason then leaves and he heads to the Paris airport and he's boarding a flight to Croatia, and then he encounters a woman that looks just like Britt Westbourne. So Jason looks at her with a very puzzled expression on his face.
He didn't even really see her. He saw more of her body than anything else. Mm-hmm. And it triggered a memory. He was just kind of like me. I'm like, it looks like Britt. And then we kind of saw her face at the end.
Right. And don't forget, Britt also thinks that Jason is dead.
So. Shoot, that's right.
Yes.
I forgot because he died in that cave-in.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Died.
Yes.
Soap style died.
All right. So we're with Portia at the hospital. She does end up telling Curtis about Drew's blackmail, which I was very excited about. I was glad she did not keep a secret this time. And she went straight to Curtis and told him that Drew wants her to change Michael's blood work and make him look like an opioid addict.
And then she had the most incredible speech about being a doctor and not wanting to break the Hippocratic Oath and ready to go down for it because she was not about to use her medical license to hurt someone. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, I love you.
It was amazing. So good. Such a great scene. And
he's like, what if you didn't though? What if you just did what he wanted so that you didn't get in trouble? And she's like, what the hell?
Yeah, right. Yeah, so Curtis tells her to pump the brakes on this operation.
You're going to go to prison. She's like, then I go to prison.
And then he suggests that there's another way for this to resolve. So we'll see what Curtis has in mind.
Murder?
So we're at Crimson, and Willow walks in as Liesl is ranting to Nina about Willow's life falling apart. Liesl can't understand.
He's like, what the hell happened?
How Willow did not get shared custody, but Willow put the blame on Michael for his cruelty and bribing the judge. Not bribing the judge, but being unfair to the judge being unfair to her.
She's like, Michael, the one who held your hand through the entirety of the time you had cancer? That Michael?
Right.
And she's like, yeah, he's changed.
Right. Nina brings up the fact that Sasha's leaving town, and Willow gets a very evil smile on her face, and Liesl noticed.
Clocked. Yeah.
And it was a great scene when Willow leaves and Liesl confronts Nina about what happened to her daughter.
She's like, what the hell's wrong with Willow?
Not the girl that I remember when I left. And Nina says that this is just an example of Drew's influence over her. And Liesl says they need to find something really big to blackmail Drew with to get rid of his hold on her.
She's like, we need to cut whatever ties he has to her, and we need to do it now. Yeah. And I was like, yes, exactly. I'm so glad you're home.
Thank God Liesl is back to do this because no one else has seemed to be able to take down Drew. So might as well be Liesl.
I would kind of like to see, now that Liesel's there, I want her to kind of form a friendship with Ava, since Ava's now friends with Nita.
Yeah.
It would be interesting. All the morally gray women are all friends. That would be fun for me.
Yeah. All right, so we're back with Willow again, and she leaves Michael a very desperate voicemail.
Calculated.
It was calculated for sure. She was saying that, she's sorry about Daisy and Sasha leaving, and now he understands what it's like to be separated from a child. So maybe there is room for compromise. She's being a manipulative bitch, just like Drew. So that is how we ended the week.
It was an incredible week. It was kind of really fun how Obrecht wasn't there and then just was.
Mm-hmm.
And her presence is so kind of far reaching that it was really exciting to see her just hit several storylines in one day. She was just like, I'm in this one, I'm in this one, I'm in this one, and I'm about to affect all of this. And it's really exciting for me because I think Kathleen Gotti is super talented.
Me too.
And I'm so thrilled that she's back.
I couldn't even I was so happy when she was back. I was gushing as I was watching. I was so excited.
I was crying. I don't think anyone who watched the scenes between her and Nina didn't crack up at several places, because when Willow smirked, she was just staring down at her, and she caught every little nuance to that conversation, and she was like, that girl's gone wrong.
Yeah.
And I think Nina needs to hear that from somebody that she trusts.
Yes.
But she's not going to trust Carly, because Carly's she's changed. She's all messed up in the head. And Nina just wants to continue to blame Drew for everything.
Right.
That's not always Drew. I think it's them together. The perfect combination of jerks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Also, I like the burgeoning relationship between her and Rocco, even though it doesn't make any sense because they're not actually related. I don't care.
Yeah.
Fun.
All right. Anything I missed or anything you want to mention?
I think that Kai's going to go to DC, and that's going to be it for him.
I agree with that.
I don't know if we'll see him again after that. I think Stella kind of very gently parented him, and kind of, because obviously he has no parents. They were in Europe. They don't give a crap that he had a major surgery. It's just he has no connections to the canvas, so I think he's probably just going to fade away.
Yeah, there's no reason to keep him on.
Yeah, I do think that it's starting to look like they're shifting into newer storylines, which is a relief, because some of the current ones have run their course. This whole Geo thing, I'm hoping that Tracy's war with Sonny doesn't alienate Geo further, but even if it does, I don't think I care, because the way he's treating Tracy, who knew nothing about him, unfairly, but he's clinging to Sonny like it's fine, feels very much like, I don't know, it just feels sexist, to be honest. But he's also doing that to Ned, so maybe not. I don't like it. So anyway, I'm glad that they're kind of shifting the focus off of Geo's parentage and all of that nonsense, and more towards how to protect Geo from Sonny, because this is Sonny's MO, is to find a young man who's angry or brain damaged and kind of just suck them into his world. And Sonny was kind of resisting that, which I was proud of him for, but he's got to understand that when he does that, it only makes people draw closer.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think that was the only thing we really didn't talk too much about it. Emma's hatred for Jocelyn's still annoying. I wish they would work together.
I agree. They have a lot in common. They would work well together.
They do. And it would be a Spencer and a Scorpio working together. And that is my dream always. So why go in this direction where it's like they're competing when they're actually working on the same goal? And the only reason they haven't joined forces, and I'm going to say, is because Vaughn's there. She doesn't need Vaughn. We could have done this without Vaughn. We could have done the entire thing with Emma. It makes way more sense for the WSB to reach out and contact a Scorpio descendant than to bring this weird dude in from nowhere who's always like, you need to prove to me why you can be a WSB agent. I'm like, who the hell are you? Who cares?
All right, everyone. Well, we're going to head over to Patreon. We're going to watch the clip of the week, and we're going to discuss some speculation and pick our performer of the week.
What are the options for?
Okay, so there are 7 options for clip of the week.
7!
Yes. So
Devin's too much for the algorithm.
I
Derek.
think we'll see how it works. But there was, I think that's the most we've ever had because it was a really great week.
It was a great week, yeah.
So Lucas goes up against Sunny, Portia's Freak Out, Liesl and Rocco.
Yay.
Robert's surprise return.
Awesome.
Liesl confronts Nina about Willow. And Portia tells Curtis about Drew's Neil blackmail attempt and her ensuing speech. So those were the choices this week. There was a lot going on this week. So
look at Brooke Kerr getting into 2.
Yeah, for sure. We got Liesl in 2 as well. So yeah, it's been a great week.
No, Liesl should be in everything.
Well, all right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next time. Bye.